Since its inception back in 1996, the WNBA has lost money every year. They've been subsidized by the NBA and by team ownership. In the last couple of years, though, with Caitlin Clark and some other stars in the league, they've gotten a lot more interest, a lot more people are watching the games, which is great, but they're still nowhere where they need to be. So in this video, I'd like to share a simple suggestion that could really turn things around for the WNBA. But first, let me just clarify this. I want to do this objectively. I'm not a hater of women's sports. I'm a huge fan of women's sports. There are so many amazing professional athletes in so many different sports that just are incredible. So you've probably seen when some people make videos criticizing the WNBA, they're showing air balls and turnovers and all these horrible errors. That's low-hanging fruit. That's so easy to do. You can do that with the NBA. If all you did was watch Shaqtin' a Fool, and just that's how you got your information from the NBA, you would walk away thinking, man, the NBA sucks. In fact, you could even take Michael Jordan and the top 5 greatest NBA players of all time and put together a highlight tape of all their screw-ups of missed shots and air balls and turnovers and times that they weren't thinking straight. It's not hard to do, so I don't want to go that route with this. I don't have any problem with women basketball players. There's so many amazing hoopers at the high school, college, and pro levels. But I do have a problem with the WNBA when it comes to hearing them complain about the wage disparity, the wage gap between how much the NBA makes versus the WNBA. And it's true, the NBA, they make so much more, but it's a matter of simple economics and revenue. They have the money, they fill the seats, whereas the WNBA doesn't bring in nearly as much money to pay their players. And I can relate to their jealousy. I've had this YouTube channel as long as Mr. Beast has had his. I have 1,000 followers. He's got millions of followers and makes millions of dollars. Doesn't seem fair. It makes me mad. But he's doing something different than I am. The NBA makes so much more money because they have so many more followers, people who are supporting the business. And that's amazing because considering the state of the NBA today, there's a lot of people that are not happy with it. There's so many things not to be happy about. Traveling every play, ticky-tack fouls, flopping, jacking up way too many threes every game, load management, and teams tanking just to get a better draft pick. But a lot of these problems within the NBA can be overlooked if they can still put out a product that's exciting to watch. And there's nothing more exciting in the NBA than watching people dunk. I think you know where this is going. Morant. Oh! But first, let me just address some of the physiological differences between men and women. In the NBA, the average height is like 6'6" to 6'7" for the men. In the WNBA, it's just a little bit over 6 feet tall. Men are generally bigger and taller than women, and the WNBA takes that into account because they use a smaller ball. In women's volleyball, the net's a little bit lower. In women's track and field, the hurdles are a little bit lower. The shot put and the discus are a little bit smaller and lighter. In CrossFit, when there's a workout involving weights, they'll usually scale it down so the women are using slightly less weight than the men. So my solution is very simple. It's just to lower the rim by 6 inches down to 9.5 feet. If you did this, the WNBA would be transformed. There would be a lot more dunking. It would be a lot more exciting, and you'd get a lot more revenue, and the players would make more money. Obviously, this isn't my idea. It's been around for a long time. I remember seeing Shaq propose this idea to Candace Parker years ago. She got insulted by it, didn't like it. I've seen Shaq also just this year talk to Angel Reese about it, and she shot it down. Also, Tracy McGrady, in an interview, he was with Breanna Stewart and threw out the idea, what if we lowered it by 6 inches? And she did not like it and said it would throw off all their shots. I think you could adjust to it, especially if you're making a lot more money. So I hope you don't take offense with the suggestion. I'm not trying to be rude or demeaning. I'm just trying to change one of the physical parameters of the game that would make the WNBA more similar to the men's style and be a lot more exciting. It's not like I'm putting down women or insulting them or telling them they should play in lingerie to get more views. I'm just tired of hearing people complain about the wage disparity between the WNBA and the NBA.
This inequality has gone on long enough.
It's kind of like if a Wiener Schnitzel franchise complained that McDonald's was making so much more money than them. Quit selling hot dogs and schnitzel, start selling McRibs, Big Macs, and chicken nuggets. You'll make a lot more money. So it's just a simple idea. Change the product just slightly, tweaking that one thing. It'll make a big difference. Pick and roll, Morant. Oh! Again, I'm not hating on female athletes. I think they're amazing. I love women's sports. I'm just trying to help them solve a problem they've been complaining about for a long time. I know personally, I'd be much more likely to watch a WNBA game if the rims were down at 9.5 feet instead of 10. What are your thoughts on the subject? Do you think I'm a sexist pig for wanting to see several dunks in every WNBA game? Join me next week. I'll do another video because that's what I do.